my mom and dad sacrificed everything to come here, so I can't be scared to not take any risk. That's like another driving factor of just, what keeps me going, especially with my curiosity.
Welcome back to the Kurative Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sutarji, and my guest today is Kevin Quach. Kevin is the co-founder of an ice cream shop in San Jose called Scoopzilla. He is also a co-founder of California Bakehouse in Story Road, San Jose, which was rebranded from Century Bakery, known for their green pandan waffles. Lastly, he is the co-founder of Kinnits, a pop-up series where he and his friends create an intimate food experience for their guests. We talk about why curiosity is what drives him to do what he loves, how he manages his time, and why we should not take the opportunities our parents gave us for granted. Enjoy the show. Hi everyone. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. And for those of you listening to the podcast, thank you for listening. I just wanted to let you know that during the beginning of my conversation with Kevin, I didn't press record on my audio recorder. And I didn't want to have him start over. So I'll just give you a brief summary of what we talked about. Kevin first gave a quick intro about himself and what businesses he owns, which is Scoopzilla, an ice cream shop in San Jose, which he owns with Michael and Kevin Lamb. And he is also the co-founder of California Bakehouse, which he also co-owns with Kevin Lamb in San Jose. Right before our recorded conversation, California Bakehouse just had its grand opening. So we talk about how he felt about it and how packed it was. I also talk about whether opening up an Asian bakery was in his plans all along, or is just a recent and new idea. I also asked him why he thought a new Asian bakery was a good idea. So his answer for this will be the beginning of our recorded conversation. So thank you and enjoy. All right, take two. Sorry about that. Talk about the California Bakehouse. You guys just opened on Saturday, and it was a huge success. Tell me about the history and kind of, what got you to now.
Okay. Well, as I said, the history should be more of Kevin Lamb and his mom thing, but I'll try to tell it as accurately as I can. A lot of his family members are in Australia, and a lot of them own bakeries. I think Kevin's mom's the only one in the U.S. to own a bakery. They opened a bakery called Le Mans Bakery, I believe, in 1993 or something like that, or maybe 1996, something like that. When Kevin's really young, and that's when they first came up with that green waffle recipe. And Kevin Lamb was telling me, he's like, this shit ain't gonna work. But then they closed that one, opened Century Bakery, and it blew up. Like if you ask like almost anyone in East Side San Jose, they'll probably know. Oh yeah, that was the place with the green waffles. You could smell that shit a mile away or something. Every Chinese New Year's, they would have like line out the door. It would be like 45-minute wait just to get your green waffle or something ridiculous like that. And then they closed. I think actually no, Century Bakery opened 2002, I believe. And then the landlord didn't want to renew the lease and whatnot. And then at this time, Kevin was already a partner with me for Scoopzilla, and I guess he really wanted to continue his family tradition. So he's like, oh, since we're partners already, did you want to also open a bakery? And I was like, oh shit, because the bakery, that was like out of nowhere. I have no intentions of ever opening a bakery. It was like gonna be Scoopzilla, maybe a second Scoopzilla, and then somewhere in between there along the lines my restaurant, or if I ever get to it. But now the bakery, so I guess that puts a hold on a lot of things. But yeah.
But I'm sure that you really thought the bakery was going to be a success, because for the viewers and the listeners that don't know, the green waffles is really popular.
Yeah.
The ingredients is basically pandan waffle, and this is something that
I opened the bakery with them. I don't even know the fucking recipe to it. So
secret family recipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't ask for anything. He's like, yeah, that's yours. I don't know. I've tried many different pandan waffles. All of them are very similar. Right. But for some reason, it's just you always go back to the original.
Yeah, actually, when I told my parents about my friend Kevin Lamb, whose mom owns the Century Bakery, they're like, oh shoot, that's where the pandan waffles were. That's where we get the pandan waffles. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, everyone, even my parents knew about it.
Everyone fucking
That's cool.
knows about it. It's
So
great.
yeah, I mean, you guys, you knew it was there was at least the recipe. You knew that it was going to be successful at least if you kept the recipe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we doubted that the bakery was going to be successful or not. It's just because there was a huge following. So when Century Bakery closed, everyone was super sad. They're like, oh, what? Did you open another one? We opened in Milpitas. And they're like, oh, that's too far. Some people actually came to Milpitas just to, you know, I guess, because they like the loyal to Kevin's mom, right? Loyal customers. So when we opened California Bakehouse and they found out that we're just rebranding and whatnot, they're like, oh, so there's a huge following still, which is cool. But obviously we wanted to do something different. With all the recipes, we kind of basically Kevin and I kind of messed around with all the recipes and made it to what it is now. I mean, we're still improving it and whatnot. If I could have it my way, I mean, I would have delayed the opening just to improve on the recipes more. But it's just that it was impossible because we didn't have any equipment at home to do it, and the bakery just had to open because, you know, Kevin and his family needs to make money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you just adding your own twist, basically.
Yeah, just kind of modernizing it,
Sure.
and also cutting down on a lot of the selection just so we're more focused on some things. Actually, I didn't even think we were gonna have that many items at during grand opening, and I was like, oh, I didn't know we were gonna have that big of a selection. I thought we were gonna stick with like 10 or something. But I mean, yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, we definitely, like, I think compared to the old bakery, we cut like half the menu out.
Wow.
And just focus on like another half. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you had a good selection. I mean, when I went to the grand opening, there was a long ass line. It was crazy.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous.
You guys were running around.
It was non-fucking stop. Okay, because we opened at 11
Yeah.
for grand opening. I thought everyone was gonna come after lunch or something. Who goes to a bakery before lunch? You know what I mean, right?
Sure.
And so that was our thought process. It was like, all right, we'll and we got kind of a late start in the morning. I forgot what happened, but people just showed up at like 10:30, and we're like, we're not open yet. It's like, oh, you're a bakery, should you open at 9 a.m.? It's like, we're not that kind of bakery. So people were already waiting at 10:30, and then by 11 we're like, all right, fuck it, we had to let them in. So we let them in, and it's like half our stuff are only baked, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
And we're still baking, and then people were waiting like 40 minutes for Portuguese tarts and whatnot, and we have to limit to one per person.
Yeah,
at first it was two per person, and after an hour me and Kevin were like, all right, one per person, because we kind of want anyone to try it, right? And we still sold out when it's one per person. It's just Portuguese tarts it's really labor intensive to make. That's why you don't see it a lot around here. Most people go to the traditional egg tart round instead of Portuguese tart. It's just because it's just so much work. No one wants to do it, and but we're like, no, fuck it, we gotta do it.
What's the difference?
It's the pastry that takes a long time. It's puff pastry. It's kind of like the crust is kind of like a croissant. So basically, you got to make the dough, and you got to fold it a bunch of times, like, I don't know, 8-9 times. But each time you roll the dough with butter and whatnot, you got to put it in the fridge for like 30-40 minutes, and you got to take it out, do it again, put it in the fridge, take it out, do it again, put it in the fridge, take it out, do it again. And then we have these Portuguese tart molds. And then so you put the dough in, and you gotta like fucking mold it into one by one, and then you gotta pour the custard one by one and stuff, and it's ridiculous. So like, yeah, no one wants to fucking do it.
How long does it take to make, I guess, a whole batch?
Okay, so Saturday night after we closed, we like ran out of all of our items, so we're like, all right, we gotta bake again. So we stayed into like midnight making a whole bunch of stuff. There was 4 of us. It was me, Kevin's mom, Kevin. Actually 5 of us, Kevin's girlfriend, and then one of our employees who just stayed back to help. And it took all 5 of us an hour and a half to make 108 Portuguese tarts.
Whoa.
And that's already having the dough rolled out and everything, right? All we were doing was just molding it to each little mold. So I was like, fuck this. At least it tastes good.
Yeah. I think it's special. If the Portuguese tarts are not something that most people want to work on and make, it will be special. And that's another thing that will make you guys stand out over any other bakery, any other Asian bakery. And so, you have the pandan waffles, you have the Portuguese tarts, and a lot of your other pastries are really good. So
Thank you.
I wouldn't, I went to the grand opening and I had the slow braised pork bun. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Pan and waffle, obviously. And
Did you have the mochi muffins?
I had the mochi muffins. That was another thing I really
Oh
liked.
yeah, that was pretty dope.
We
We're still messing around with the recipe too, still, but I mean it's really good. I'm hoping to actually make different flavored ones like panda and mochi muffins.
Oh,
and all
okay.
that stuff. But it's just been it's been so hectic.
So you know how I went to the grand opening and I got boxes of the mochi muffins. I apologize for taking so much and making you guys work. But I brought it to parties and everybody loved it. I brought it to a birthday party as well. Actually, 2 birthday parties.
Oh damn!
And we just cut it in half, right? We would cut it in half so people can share and try it. I saw this one guy. He's never had it before. He ate it. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he took another one before finishing the other one. And I was just like, dude, that's amazing. That's a great reaction. And I wish I got it on video for you guys.
That would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's good. Now that we're open, now it's just figuring out, okay, what stays, what goes. And we need to figure out a process. Obviously, my background's more as a chef than a baker. So baking is kind of new to me. I mean, I do basic baking and whatnot, but now it's like, well, now I need to learn all this. Basically, I have a very little amount of time to learn 23 years of experience that Kevin's mom had, because she's getting she's getting old. She should be tired and whatnot. So I'm just trying to learn as fast as I can, find out some process, find some more help maybe. But yeah, it's crazy.
Does that mean she's gonna share the recipe to you?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know about the pan and waffle. Maybe Kevin can do that, but yeah, I've learned how to make some of it. Can I make it as good? Probably not. She could practically outproduce me like 10 times or something. Like if I had the same amount of time, she could probably make like 300 pork buns and I'll make like fucking 20 or some shit. Because rapping is hard. I can't rap for shit.
So with California Bakehouse, you guys got that open, but what only some people know is that you also have Scoopzilla, which you opened almost a year ago, right? It's about to be
June 30th is the 1 year anniversary.
Okay, and
holy shit.
And those two.
Well, 1 year since the store's been opened.
Okay.
But we started in 2013 making ice cream.
Yeah, so you've been doing that for a very long time, and this is not even your full-time job with Scoopzilla and California Bakehouse.
Sadly, not.
What got you to kind of do this on the side as well as
my finance?
Do your full-time job?
Yeah. Well, at a young age, it's like I always knew I wanted to do something with food. Okay, more as a chef. I didn't think I would be. I guess at this point, it's more of like I'm a businessman than like a chef or something. But I still love cooking and making the products, baking and the ice cream and whatnot. I always knew I wanted to do it since maybe 6 or 7. I don't remember. And so the plan was like, after doing high school, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go culinary school or something. And my mom was like, what the fuck, culinary school? So obviously that didn't work out. And so I was like, all right, you know what, fine. I'll just go to the traditional route to make my parents happy, right? Because I mean they sacrifice so much and whatnot. So I went to De Anza, and obviously it was kind of hard because I was like, man, I still want to pursue the cooking route, but at the same time I was like, all right, what would I want to do? Or what should I learn essentially at De Anza, and then when I transferred to Santa Clara University, like what should I major in and whatnot to like kind of that would help me in the future. That's why I went business and finance and whatnot. Obviously dreams don't pay bills, so I gotta have a full-time job still. I mean, dreams do pay bills. Later
in the long run
when I'm out of debt and shit. But but yeah, so I always basically me and my friends, I mean, to kind of stay on the cooking path, right? Go down the right path at least, or at least have one foot on the right path. Was we just hosted parties. We started. I remember the very first like huge party we hosted, or dinner. It was not a party; it was dinner. Was Thanksgiving senior year. It was Thanksgiving senior year.
In high school, or
it was in high school. And it was like 40 of us or something, and to us that was like, oh man, this is like a huge party. And then from there it went to Christmas, was like 60, and then the year after that, and now I mean, you've been to some of them, there's like 200.
Yeah, it was
200
so many
people. So yeah, we try to do this every year just because we love bringing the reason why I fell in love with cooking in the first place was because I think we might have talked a little bit about this in another interview, but the only time I got to see my family when I was young was at the dinner table. And that's when everyone came together. No questions asked. You have to be at the dinner table with everyone and eat. And I mean, it helps that the food was good because my grandma's a great cook. And that that I kind of took that with me throughout the years. And now even today, when we throw a dinner party, and so many people comes together, and it's pretty good to see because it's like I see my high school friends, my middle school friends, college friends. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone just coming together and put your difference aside and get to know each other and just have a good time over good food. And that's why we still host these parties. That kind of drives us to stay on the right path. And then now, and the Scoopzilla happened just because my friends like, how come you never have dessert? And then one day they gave me an ice cream book for I think Christmas for my birthday, and yeah, the rest is history. We just started Scoopzilla. Me and Mark Phillips started Scoopzilla, and yeah, now it is what it is today.
What got you to finally open up a brick and mortar and say, yes, we're going to finally pursue this and really make this a real business?
So when me, Mark, and Philip opened it, so Philip, who's a great friend of mine, he always wanted to go culinary school for baking, pastries, and whatnot, but he was studying as a nurse at that time, I believe. And then Mark was still, I think he was just trying to figure out what he wanted to do. I knew he wanted to go to like the East Coast for comic book writing or something like that, but he ended up going to culinary school. But we started Scoopzilla just because we were making ice cream. We got a lot of good feedback, and we're like, hey, let's just sell it, make some cash on the side, help pay for classes, whatnot, and other stuff, right? And then Philip, he just got too busy with the nursing program, and then Mark left to go to Cordon Bleu in San Francisco for culinary school. I was so jealous of him. And then at that time, my friend David Yang, Minvu, and Paul Lanyas, they came aboard, and helped me. And with them, we had our first fundraiser. We had an ice cream social, and my friend Hank, he was studying to be a PT at the time, and he was interning at a PT, whatever, and he would bring ice creams to his clients after PT. He's like,
that's cool.
And then, so with them, we did the first fundraisers and whatnot. And at this point, I was like, man, it would be cool to open up. But I guess all of them thought it was kind of unrealistic because, we were all kind of college students still about to graduate, or at least some of them. And it was a lot of money to do so, right? So they all kind of dropped out. So Scoopzilla kind of fell dead a bit. I still continued a bit when I went to Santa Clara University, and then finally I met Kevin Lam when I graduated because my dad wanted me to get a job at Apple, and he worked at Apple. It's like, oh, email my friend's son, he can get you a job at Apple. So that's how I first contacted Kevin. I never met him. I just sent him my resume.
All right.
I don't even know if he looked at it, but he's like, yeah, it's good, whatever. But obviously did not get a job at Apple. I decided to become a financial representative just because I just couldn't do a 9-to-5 job and whatnot. And then but yeah, so he came to me. He's like, hey, I know you do ice cream, and he wanted me to sell ice cream to him for his bakery,
which is Century Bakery.
Yeah, so this was a little right after Century Bakery closed, I believe. No, I think it was still open, and he had California Bakehouse, the one in Milpitas. It was the second bakery, and he wanted me to sell it there, but I was doing it out of my dorm room and my kitchen, you know what I mean? So yeah. I was like, there's no way. So that fell apart, and he came back to me later. He was like, hey, I know you're into food. Let's open something like a food business, something. It's like Sharpie down. And then I was like, yo, my friend Michael Ma, my other partner now for Scoopzilla, his family owns a Thai restaurant, and he wanted me to sell ice cream to him so he could sell to his customers. Obviously, I couldn't do that either out of my kitchen and dorm room. But I asked him, I was like, hey, me and Kevin Lam were trying to, come up with a business plan for something like food related. We're not hopping on this. He's like, oh yeah. So at first we're like, wait, okay, Kevin is a chef. Kevin Lam is a baker. Michael kind of is can cook, because obviously he works at his Thai restaurant and he owned a restaurant. So we're like, why not we just open a fucking restaurant? It was so easy.
Oh, so easy.
Yeah, so easy. so we would go to his restaurant every Sunday, Thai Spoons, because it's closed. If you guys haven't been, you should go because it's good. So we go there every Sunday, and we would like just try to make up recipes. I would be like, I remember I'll be in the car going to work, and then I'm in traffic. I'll be like fucking writing recipes, or on the way to LA, if I'm like a passenger, I'd be trying to write recipes on my notebook and shit, just trying to come up with stuff. And then we would try to make it every Sunday. And we got like a good amount of things down, and we're like, all right, let's start looking for a place. And then we found a few places, and we looked at one, and we're like, maybe this place might work.
And what were you making when you were experimenting?
So at first, okay, so the restaurant was supposed to be called Hangry Tapas. It's in the back burner. I think we're still gonna do it one day. But we were like, yo, the one thing that San Jose is missing is like, because I grew up in LA, literally right down the street from where my grandma lives right now currently. There's this place called JJ's Cafe. It's open to like 4 a.m. And then LA is just full of those places, right? So we're like, yo, we should create something restaurant late night, because San Jose doesn't have that like good food, right, to hang out and whatnot. So that was the goal. So we were making like deep fried like soft shell crab sliders, different type of chicken wings, fried Brussels sprout, duck confit, whatever, you name it. We were just making a whole bunch of stuff. So we made some really fancy stuff, some really like drunk food stuff, and then in between and whatnot. So we're still trying to figure it out, but we're looking for a place at the same time. We found a spot, and then we started finally actually doing the calculations on how much this was going to cost. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, bro, I don't know where the fuck I'm going to get this money. And Michael's like, I'm still in college. And Kevin was like, well, fuck. So that didn't go through, because we realized how expensive it would be. And I was like, look, we have all the recipes for ice cream already. Let's just do Scoopzilla. It's not going to be that expensive. That's what I thought. Okay, it wasn't expensive in retrospect compared to the restaurant and the bakery and other things that you could have done. We got really lucky with Scoopzilla and how it panned out, and we found a location in Westgate, and we just started drafting a business plan. And Michael got his fraternity to help a lot in marketing and designing. My friend Vivian did a lot of designing, drawing. Same thing with my cousin Jacqueline, and then Mark and Philip was like, oh, I mean, we know how to make the ice cream. We can help you make the ice cream, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so that's how Scoopzilla came to be.
And it seems like you, Kevin Lamb, Michael were really good had a really good partnership, right? Because Michael does marketing, and then he also handles a Thai restaurant, as well as Kevin Lamb handles the bakery, his family bakery. Mm-hmm. And you cook, you love cooking. And it seems that you guys got a lot of areas covered when you want to own a business.
Yeah, I think I forgot what Michael said. It was like a dream match come true.
A match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven.
I know, he said that a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. Realistically, I did not know Michael or Kevin. I knew of Michael because he was my cousin's like really close friend, and then I didn't even know Kevin until my dad's like, "Oh, email him your resume."
Right.
But I knew his mom this whole time. I didn't know, right? And yeah, so we it's just lucky. We just click. I think it might have helped a little bit that we weren't such close friends in the beginning.
Sure.
And we built the relationship over time through the business stuff. But I think it was really good for us because we kind of learned the boundaries as like, okay, this is when I'm a business partner, this is when I'm a friend. And that's really good with us. I don't think we ever really had, I mean, I think we've been annoyed with each other, but we never really got in an argument or fought with each other, no bad blood or anything. So I guess it is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Michael. The fact that you guys are working out, you guys have covered every different, at least a lot of different areas in a business. Mm-hmm. You guys aren't really butting heads. I think that's at least a good start.
Yeah. I mean, and also we just all do a little bit of everything, because we all obviously have experience running our own businesses. I mean, my finance job is technically running my own business. I go find my own clients. I service the way I service and whatnot. So yeah.
I don't see how you can do your own financial job as well as Scoopzilla and California
You know,
Bakehouse. How do you find time?
A lot of people ask me that, and I don't even know either. To be honest, sometimes I think I was like, I don't. How the fuck do I do it? And then I added the pop-up restaurant, and then
Right, Kinnits.
yeah, Kinnits, and yeah, I don't know. Actually, when you okay, it helps that my finance job is not a true 9 to 5. In the beginning, it was like fucking 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 10 p.m. But after you get kind of established, it's not a 9 to 5. It's like it depends on how you want to run your business. Like, okay, so Monday to Friday, I'm always working my finance job. It's just I'm on the call. If my client needs me, I'll go them. If they contact me, I'll answer. And thankfully with technology, I can get all the information I need, the news, how the stock market and stuff are doing, through my phone, laptop, and whatnot. So it's like I'm constantly on clock, on job. It's just I'm not like seeing my clients every single day, right? Or making new clients every single day. So I think that helps me be able to balance out Scoopzilla, the bakery, and Kinnits. And I'm not gonna lie, after the bakery opened, now it's getting really hard to balance all of it. I think a lot of it comes down to time management for sure. Because I mean, if there's one thing in life I learned, you can't buy time. It's set. There's a finite amount. So you just gotta utilize time to the best as you can. I'm still learning how to time manage myself. I do sacrifice a lot of sleep, which is probably not good time management, but fuck it. That's the only way I can make more time, right? So, but now that with the bakery, luckily the bakery's closed Tuesday, Wednesday. So how I set my schedule is, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for sure is my finance job. And then I'll always leave time in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like some flexibility in there. If I need to go to the bakery, then I can do it. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is set for mostly Scoopzilla Bakery, but I'll also leave a few hours in each day. If I need to do something else, then I can do it.
So does managing your time keep you, even though you manage your time, do you still spread yourself really thin? Do you keep yourself busy at all hours of your waking day?
So when the bakery wasn't open, I actually kind of had some free time to myself. Usually just at night, when after everything's closed at night. But I did have some free time before the bakery opened, because you couldn't really do much until the bakery actually opened. Same thing with Scoopzilla. Like before Scoopzilla even opened, it was like you can't do much until it opens, right? Because you can only plan so much how the business is gonna run, but when it actually happened, it's totally different. Like me, Kevin, Michael, before Scoopzilla opens, like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is the schedule. This is what everyone does. I don't think any of that actually panned out. It's like totally different from what we planned. Same thing with the bakery. It's still constantly changing. But now it's like, at any given time, I'm doing something. If it's not my finance job, whatever, it's Scoopzilla. If it's not Scoopzilla, it's California Bakehouse. If it's not California Bakehouse, it's Kinnits. If it's not Kinnits, maybe I'm tending to my garden. That keeps me sane. And if it's not that, then I have some free time and I can do something. But now with the bakery, I got very little time now.
How do you keep yourself going? Because sometimes if you look at your week or even your day schedule, you might feel a little overwhelmed. And what do you do to keep yourself accountable to make sure that you actually focus on the things you need to focus at that time and get it done at a reasonable deadline, basically? The
accountability kind of self-fulfills itself, because it's like, oh, if I don't do my job at Scoopzilla, the business fails and I'm fucked, and you know what I mean? And I don't want it to happen. Scoopzilla's like my baby, right? And then the bakery, obviously, if I don't do it, the bakery closes, or if it goes to shit. So, and same thing with my finance job is like, if I don't tend to my clients, they're all gonna leave me, and they lose all their money or something, and that's pretty bad, and I don't want that to happen, obviously.
So that's basically enough fear that will get you going.
Yeah, or like to do my job. What keeps me going is I would have to say curiosity, which is kind of, let me explain. So it's just I'm able to do what I do because I'm just curious. Like, okay, I want to see what the end game of Scoopzilla would look like. I want to see the end game of what California Bakehouse would look like. I want to see how far I can get with this culinary stuff. Like, I'm just curious. I just want to see how it looks like. I want to, because at a very young age, well, okay, going to this story kind of helps, I guess, with paint a bigger picture. But at a young age, when I was growing up, I didn't really have any friends. I was a weirdo at school, right? You know, the kid that, you know, plays with his imaginary friends and talks to himself and shit. And then, and at one point, there was a time where it was just like, okay, you know, I was getting bullied. People jacked my lunch and shit, and gang up on me, whatever, right? And at one point, it was like, all right, then what the fuck's the point of all this, right? And I was thinking, okay, I could just end it all, right? But then it was that curiosity that kept me going and not, you know, going down that path. It was like, if I, let's just say if I continue, right, to fight and whatnot, where would I go? I want to see what happens. And so it was just always that curiosity. See, and then and one of my really close friends back in the day when I was really young, you know, that was his. Because I told him about it, and he was like, "Well, aren't you curious to see, if you killed yourself right now, well, that's it, right? But wouldn't you want to see what happens if you kept going? Like, what if there's something better?" And it was that curiosity. It's like, okay, and that's what keeps me going. It's just the curiosity of what it would look like if I was able to obtain everything I ever wanted to do, and achieve all my dreams, regardless if I don't make it or not. It's the curiosity that keeps me going.
Wow, that's I'm glad that you chose this path.
Thank you.
It's, you know, that kind of childhood is not something that everyone experiences, and the fact that you have this curiosity to keep going, and it seems like it's what's driving you towards at least keep going, you know, trying new things and starting businesses, doing whatever you want, basically. I really like that. I really like your view on life, and it seems that, at least from what I've known you for about a year, maybe a little bit more.
Has it only been a year?
It's about a year since Scoopzilla started, basically, right before Scoopzilla opened.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It feels a lot longer. It feels a lot longer.
So for the little time I've known you, I feel like you have that curiosity, and you're just like, fuck it, let's try it.
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality in life. Is like, fuck it.
Yeah. I hear that all the time from you. I think that's a good way to try things out, because a lot of people are too scared, and they're curious.
I mean, it's good to be scared, because if you're not scared, then you're just stupid.
Fair enough.
But I mean, obviously, I say, oh, fuck it, let's do it. Obviously, I'm super scared, right? I mean, it's just like, you know, but yeah, and also I think it helps, because I guess some people who probably won't get it is like, okay, so we are first generation, or our parents are immigrants, and we're the first generation of the, you know, the children, right? And we have to be the living proof that their sacrifice was worth it. So that's also in my mind too, right? It's like, all right, well, my mom and dad sacrificed everything to come here, so I can't be scared to not take any risk. And my dad and mom risked it all. I mean, they opened their own business. And I mean, my dad and mom's work ethics is unheard of. Unchallenged. I can't even. You think I work hard? Fuck, you should see my dad, and his work ethic is impeccable compared to me. It's crazy. And that, I guess that's like another driving factor of just, you know, what keeps me going, especially with my curiosity.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, because the fact that our parents basically sacrificed a lot to bring us here, to give us opportunities to kind of do whatever we want. We don't have to worry about surviving. Yeah. As millennials, I think a lot of us are lucky enough to try things that our parents could never have tried before.
Never do it. Yeah.
And whether it's starting a business or picking whatever career you're really interested in and trying things out, maybe even stopping everything and just travel for a year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously our parents didn't have that choice.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I'm gonna come to America, flee Vietnam, I'm coming to America to fucking follow my dream of being whatever that was. I don't even know, soccer player. I don't know, because I think my dad played soccer. Obviously that wasn't the case. They came here because, I mean, to have better opportunities for us, and I mean. And then I guess the only choice my dad and mom had was to become, you know, obviously just hustle. That's what they learned how to do. And they opened, you know, a meat and seafood wholesale. Oh, now that I think of it, everyone's in the food industry in my family. Oh, at least my immediate family.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, and then so I mean, they gave us the opportunity. Obviously, my dad and mom, when I was going to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever.
Yeah.
That didn't work out for them, obviously. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to explore, and kind of just follow my dream and passion. It might have not panned the way I thought it would, but I mean, the fact that it's happening now is pretty cool. I wish it started earlier, but I mean, yeah.
I think your dream changes though, right? I bet when you were 5-6 years old, you wanted to be something else.
I remember, I don't know exactly how old. I just remember I was like probably 4 or some shit. It was so dumb. It was my dad and mom like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, a construction worker. I thought it was hella cool to put off the orange cones and shit on the street. Obviously that changed real quick. But I was growing up with my grandma in LA and my parents were up in San Jose, and that's when I realized like, it was cool to bring people together. And then my friend, the one, who kept me going, his family, actually, his mom and dad, before he passed, his family owned a taco truck, I think, or something. So no pretty bomb ass tacos. And I thought it was cool because you see all these random people coming to like the taco truck, and it's like you just forget about life for a second because you're eating such good food and so whatnot. So that's why I continued down that path of food and whatnot.
Okay, so that's good because a lot of, at least for me, my dream, whatever you want to call it, my dream career, what I want to be when I grow up, has changed a lot.
Okay,
and it's cool.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird to have it set and stay on that path.
Well, and it's by choice, right?
Yeah,
it's not like.
Yeah, it's by choice.
Based on it's not based on your parents, what they want you to do. They be a doctor or something like that.
I mean, the closest they're gonna get to a doctor is my sister Jasmine, who's gonna be a vet. They call her a dog tour, but
that's cute. Cool. I think that what you're doing now is something that it's an experiment, and if you like it, you keep going. If you don't like it, you'll find something else. And knowing you'll be ready to move on to the next thing if for some reason you don't want to do Scoopzilla anymore or California Bakehouse. And that's the right attitude, because trying out new things is gonna make you grow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what I would do if I stopped doing Scoopzilla and California Bakehouse, because I mean, I wouldn't even know where I would.
Did you have any hobbies outside of cooking, or was it always you're always cooking, always thinking about recipes, always watching some
playing games, Warcraft 3 and shit?
Okay, well,
such
probably your stress reliever.
Such a waste of time, but yeah. No, it was. Yeah, I guess it was just mostly cooking. Yeah, I guess not really.
What got you to want to go from, instead of being a chef at just like a restaurant like Cordon Bleu, to owning a business? Because I mean, you studied business, but what really made you decide, okay, I want to own my business? Like, I want to own an ice cream shop versus I want to make just ice cream flavors, new ice cream flavors.
Yeah. I guess, well, I mean, obviously, because my dad and mom own their own businesses, that, I was like, I always wanted, there's just something about owning your own thing, like something to call yours,
like your baby.
Yeah, and there's also like, because when I was growing up, my uncle got laid off, and I guess he just never found he was an engineer or something, he never found another job after that, and you hear all these stories, and it's just like, well, if you're your own boss, you're never gonna get laid off, and I don't like people telling me how much I'm worth, like, because so that's why I was like, well, if I own my own business, I can tell how much I'm worth, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just mostly being able to own something and just having it, everything's under your control. You can do it your way, the way you want it to. I mean, that's why I opened Scoopzilla, right? It's like, I don't want to, like, a lot of other ice cream shops, they buy ice cream from, like, big suppliers like Treatbot or something, right? It's just like, well, what's the fun of that? I want to create something, and I want to share what I create with everyone else, and not someone else's creation, right? Same thing with the bakery. we bake every day, freshly baked every hour, because it's traditional recipes that we want to share with the world, and that's why. So it's pretty cool just to be able to own your own thing like that, and that's why I went that route.
So tell me about the difference between Scoopzilla and how you guys make ice cream versus TreatBot. So TreatBot comes from Big Source.
Yeah, I obviously don't know how their ice cream manufacturing works. I mean, they're on such a bigger scale than us. But the company's called Treat, and a lot of like creameries around San Jose buy ice cream from them, just like how a lot of ice cream creameries in San Francisco buy ice cream from Mitchell's, and whatnot. With Scoopzilla, it's just like, I mean, the reason why I opened Scoopzilla is because I wanted to be able to own the making process of making the ice cream, that ice cream making process from start to finish. I know what goes in, I know all the ratios, I know what I can add, take out, and whatnot, and be able to create my own weird flavors and own pairings, like the mango ice cream with the sticky rice, mango and whatnot, or like the
mango habanero.
Oh, mango habanero, or with black sesame, and then our pairings like the matcha whipped cream and all this, and red bean, blah 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 blah. Because other ice cream places don't do that, and it's just like, I wanted to be able to create something cool and be able to share it.
Yeah, talk about Zilla styles, because I feel like a lot of ice cream shops, they let you put whatever toppings you want, but Zilla styles is different.
Yeah, so I mean, as a kid, that was cool when I went to an ice cream shop. Oh, rainbow sprinkles, gummy bears, whatever the fuck, right? But as I grew older, and like obviously because I cook now, right, and a lot, and just like, all right, that shit does not go well with this flavor sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if you went to Scoopzilla and let's just say you got fucking mango sticky rice and you put fucking gummy worms and shit in it? It's like, no, no, right? So that's why we created Zilla style. It was like, okay, it was paired toppings for each ice cream flavor, right? So like mango has the sticky rice, mango bits, whatnot. Chocolate has the burnt marshmallow, whatnot. And they could change. It could change whatever. Black sesame will have red bean, mozzarella, whipped cream, whatever. Everything we make, right? And that's what Zilla style is, paired toppings. I think we are actually going to change that a little bit. Like we still have paired toppings, but I think we're gonna give the consumer a little bit more power, because a lot of people like to pick their own stuff. So we'll just have like a list of paired toppings or set toppings that they can choose from, and we'll just tell them, oh, this pairs well with this though,
for the specific flavor.
Yeah. So we're gonna go down that route. We're still designing the menu. Actually, the menu's designed. I just need to build it, but I don't have time.
Yeah, I honestly like Zilla style because I don't have to think about what toppings work with what.
Yeah. Well, it's still good. I don't have the design with me. It makes more sense when you actually see the menu.
Okay.
But you'll get it. You still have your Zilla style. It's just it'll be more clear if you wanted to do something else.
I see.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost I don't want to butcher the real meaning of the word, but it's almost like a smaller version of an omakase of ice cream toppings, right? Because it's the chef's choice of what works together in a specific meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically.
And I know for sushi it's a lot different. It's a whole menu, right? But at least with Zilla styles, I feel like because I also know you, I trust that you're picking these toppings for a reason. You're picking these toppings that work really well with the ice cream flavor. And I know that these toppings are fresh. They're legit. They're pretty much homemade.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice. Okay, because we're in a food court, so it's kind of hard to do what Scoopzilla was supposed to meant to be. So if we ever open another Scoopzilla, like its own total separate brick and mortar, I think it'll be totally different when you walk in, and the experience would be a lot better and more unique. It's kind of hard to do that in a food court. Obviously, we have to tailor to that mass of that crowd that we're in. But hopefully one day down the road soon, we can open another Scoopzilla, its own location, and we can actually do what we really wanted to do in the first place.
Would you open up a second one in parallel, or would you relocate basically your current one?
I wouldn't mind opening in parallel. That'd be cool. Because
it's a lot of money.
It is, but at the same time, that mall is kind of unique. It's a neighborhood mall. Like a lot of people don't. It's not like Valley Fair where it's like, oh, let's go Valley Fair shop. You go. Let's go to Westgate and shop. It's like a lot of people there are from the surrounding neighborhood. It's always repeat customers and whatnot. And it's pretty cool when they first opened. I remember everyone's, oh, you'll finally open. We always wanted an ice cream shop. Now we have it. So it's a really different crowd, and which is cool. It's like, your friendly neighborhood ice cream shop in a food court.
Yeah.
But so it's unique. So I wouldn't mind keeping it. I would love for that Scoopzilla to stay. Obviously, if we open another one, the whole structure will change. I don't think we'll probably make ice cream at that shop and then kind of move it to or something like that, Westgate location or something. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll figure it out when it does. If it does happen, it will happen.
Yeah, yeah, good. That's the attitude.
Yeah.
So talk about a little bit about the pricing, because I know if you compare Scoopzilla's pricing to, say, Baskin Robbins, your prices are a little bit more expensive.
I think almost the same in certain areas. I think Baskin Robbins. I haven't been to Baskin Robbins in a long time, but their ice cream, a single scoop, might be about $4, $3.75 maybe.
Okay, well, I haven't been to Baskin Robbins in a very long time. I do know that from what I've seen back in the day, those ice cream shops were selling a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But what is your reasoning by your guys' price?
It's because, number one, we can't mass produce like Baskin Robbins. And actually, Baskin Robbins, they make it out of a warehouse and they ship it to all their locations. We can't do that, obviously. We're only one location. And all of our things are made fresh. When you come to Scoopzilla and you have an ice cream, I think the oldest ice cream you could probably get is 2 weeks old. Because we just constantly replace the ice cream, so it's pretty fresh. Because the longer it stays in the freezer, the more ice crystal it builds up. If we don't have like Baskin Robbins, if you look at the ingredient, there's like half the ingredients I don't even know how to fucking say, and I don't even know what they are. But that is to prevent ice crystallization, which makes the ice cream really hard and icy. So that's why we have to get rid of our ice cream as fast as we can. And that's why it's kind of expensive, because also labor is so expensive in California. And then ingredients, not to mention, like we don't use some bullshit heavy cream. We get it from Clover. That's our source. Clover sources our heavy cream, milk, and all that. And just like we try to use the highest quality of ingredients. So that's why the cost is a little bit more expensive. Not to mention, we're called Scoopzilla, so the ice cream scoop is pretty big. I can't even finish my own ice cream scoop.
Your guys' scoops are huge.
Yeah, so I can't even finish it. And then not to mention, if you add the toppings, now we took so much time putting all this menu together and making all the toppings. So that's why it's kind of more expensive than Baskin Robbins. And yeah.
In my opinion, it's worth it, because even with the flavor, I feel like is a lot better. And knowing that it's fresh, coming from real ingredients that are picked by you guys. Basically, you guys are okay. You guys said, yes, we want to use these toppings for this ice cream. I'm willing to pay that much.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are too. And your guys' double scoop, I ordered double scoops maybe about twice from you guys, plus Zilla style toppings, and I can't finish it. You guys give really huge scoops.
Yeah.
Though.
I've seen people finish it. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Hey, it works for you.
I can't finish it, but yeah.
But I think it's worth it. I think a lot of people just have to know why the price is so a little bit marked up. And people sometimes just look at the price. They're like, oh, that's expensive for ice cream. Never mind. But if people know that you guys are doing a lot of work into making this kind of ice cream and picking out the toppings and stuff. That's
why I feel like a lot, if you're in the food industry, like a chef, pastry maker, ice cream maker, whatever, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much work you put into it. It kind of sucks. Not a lot of people realize. Of course, my friends know how much work goes into this, but when you go to customers, they don't really understand how much you put into making these ice cream, how long it takes to come up with the recipe, test it, make sure it's good, and all this stuff. Yeah, it's like going from Coors Light to like Drake's Brewery in San Leandro or Oakland, right? One's a micro brewery, one is a big distributor. Yeah. And the smaller ones, and also like smaller roasteries, they require more work. They don't have enough bandwidth and supplies to make huge batches that can last you for a long time. So I feel like knowing how much work and to make one batch needs to be told, so that people understand why it's so much work. We have 12 flavors at any given time. that's almost 24 hours to make, because it takes about maybe 45 minutes to an hour to make the ice cream, and then you gotta cool it. If you don't count the cooling process, the freezing takes another maybe another 30-45 minutes. So it takes a long time. So and I get people just don't understand that. They're like, what the fuck, ice cream? And but it's like, but you pay $6 for a milk tea, and that took you you know what I mean? I love boba though. Drink it every other week.
Yeah. But I feel like Scoopzilla is definitely worth it. I really love it.
Thank you.
I really love it.
Appreciate it.
How often do you rotate flavors or think of new flavors for Scoopzilla?
When I feel like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no set times. Obviously, some flavors like mango is seasonal. Once it goes in season, it'll stay there until the season ends, just because it's so popular.
That's really cool.
And there's just some ice creams you can't take away, like cookies and cream, and chocolate. Well, there's different variations of chocolate. We had chocolate brownie. We're probably gonna do a different, like, another different kind of chocolate, just to kind of, so we're not bored of it. I remember when I took out vanilla, it was like, oh, why did you take out vanilla? It's like, well, because it's fucking boring to make.
Boring to make,
yeah,
sure.
And it's really expensive because there's a vanilla shortage. Yeah. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So most people don't know there's a vanilla shortage, and most places it's probably not even real vanilla.
I see.
It's probably synthetic vanilla or something, or vanilla extract.
Right.
That's synthetic. But yeah, that's why we take out vanilla, because it was just so expensive. You get like a bottle like of my Hydro Flask, and that would cost you almost $200.
Holy shit!
And that won't. that's not gonna last long, especially if you make vanilla ice cream.
That's
because for me, when I make vanilla, I want it to slap me in the face. I want my vanilla to be strong, and it was just too expensive. So we're like, let's cut off vanilla for now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it just depends. So we have like a list of maybe 14 flavors we never put in rotation yet. We made it in small batches before, like, back in 2014 or 15. It's just I never had the time or how to figure out how to mass produce it that wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg to produce. But yeah, we have a lot of flavors. There's a lot of flavors that I want to make, but yeah, it hasn't come in. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. Like Blue Moon. Can't wait to make
Blue
that.
Moon.
Blue
like
Moon,
with beer.
Yeah, with the beer.
Oh, that's sick.
Or like Rosemary Thyme or something, right? But yeah.
Yeah, I think so far my favorite flavors are the Gen Matcha, the butterscotch cookie dough,
salted butterscotch
cookie dough. That was amazing. I love cookie dough. So I'm kind of biased, but that was amazing.
That's good.
And mango. I love mango as a fruit, and so your guys' mango flavored or mango ice cream with the Zilla style toppings is
the sticky
amazing.
rice.
Oh my god!
I think we have one of the best mango ice cream, just because we use real mango. It's a bitch and I have to do though, because you gotta puree it, blah blah blah
sure.
blah. But yeah, I love the mango ice cream.
Yeah, and it's seasonal, so that for me it's like special when it's back in season.
I could try to make it year round. It just costs a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, because I gotta ship it and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Seems that you're still continuously thinking of new flavors and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time. Yeah,
thank you, Kevin.
I'm looking forward to what you're doing next, and yeah.
I don't know. From the looks of it, one a year, right? No, I was kidding. I'm so fucking tired.
I know. So if people want to reach you, where can they contact you, or basically find you on social media or anything like that?
I guess Instagram. I think it's Chef Quachy, Quachy. You can find my Instagram, or you could even message through Scoopzilla and California Bakehouse. I'm looking for Kevin. Instagram. But yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and that's a wrap.